a couple of months ago, I put out a video about how you could make money creating and selling simple AI-generated content. In an effort to put my money where my mouth is, I put this to the test. I came up with an idea to sell AI content on my own, and the results were staggering. I banked over $17,000 this week alone selling nothing other than, yep, you guessed it, AI-generated content. But it's not just me. People around the world are making tons of money with AI-generated content. From the guy on Fiverr selling them for $5 each, to major companies charging hundreds of dollars for each and every piece of content, to another company we're going to be looking at today, Content at Scale, that has a software engineered to write content using AI for specific uses. And these guys have been behind the scenes for the last 9 months, banking millions of dollars selling, yep, you guessed it, AI-generated content. And to show you the proof in the pudding, I've been using Content at Scale on my Emoticons website. Back when I first started, the traffic was actually pretty small. We took over the domain and added Content at Scale, and now the traffic has more than doubled. As you can see here, we're at over 70,000 visitors a month. And not only that, but we've gained thousands of keyword rankings in Google, and it's growing every single day. And this is 100% with AI-generated content with zero human editing. And today, we have Julia, the president of Content at Scale, to show you exactly how it works. All right, so since February of 2022, we have seen AI content-related searches skyrocket, which means that the demand for AI content has gone through the roof. And today we have Julia and Josh from Content at Scale to show you exactly how this business works. We're going to look at the ins and outs of the real world business of a powerhouse that is out there selling AI content and doing done for you content in a super easy way. So Julia, Josh, how are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Great to be here.
All right.
Doing great.
Excellent. Okay, so tell us, I think, Julia, you're the CEO of Content at Scale, which I've been using for, I think, 6 months now, yeah?
I'm the president. It happens a lot. Justin, our CEO, Justin McGill.
All right, cool. I don't know the difference between the two. I didn't go to that school, but I know they're both impressive, so that's good. So now you came from the world of SEO. You built blogs and sites. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So for since 2011, actually, I've been a content writer. So full-time content writing. Started out as a freelancer. Within 3 months of teaching myself freelance writing, had tons of work. So I'm like, okay, let's start a business. That little writing business grew to 100 people and had a 7-figure exit in 2021. So, we did a lot along the way. Part of my journey has been uncovering the holes in the content industry around, well, how do we do this in a way that's practical, in a way that brings money, in a way that brings ROI? So I write books on that topic. Along the way, I picked up a brand called The Content Hacker, where I teach this. So 8 books out on that topic. But the reason I'm here today is I'll tell you, in 2021, when I sold my writing agency, I did see GPT on the horizon in a really big way. And what I saw was that it's going to impact writing, but I didn't know how. And so at the time, I was very skeptical of AI in general. And in 2022, when Chatgpt came out and 100 million people adapted, I tried to adapt and I honestly couldn't use it in my workflow. It created very superficial, mediocre content that I knew a client wouldn't really pay for. And in the end, if your content doesn't bring ROI, why put it out? So at that point, I'm like, okay, I can't use this, but I still watched AI. And in January of this year, that's when I found Content at Scale. And it was a home run of an AI from the minute I saw it, the way it was built, the output it generated. It's a unique stack of 3 different LLMs. So it's not just an API call to ChatGPT, it's actually writing like a human. So when I saw that, I'm like, maybe I should try to work for this tool before it takes my job. So I pitched the founder, Justin McGill, a marketing plan like that Saturday, got hired the next Monday.
Mhm.
And it's been an exciting ride since. It's crazy to see, we have Josh, the COO here. It's crazy to see this company doing the users on the user side. There's 50 million words per month of production. My
Wow.
writing agency, Marcus, did 10 million per year.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it shows the demand. And I think it's really cool because, we come from the same kind of world where, I mean, for me, I used Jasper in like 2020, and I think I used it for a half hour, and I was like, no, this AI is never going to take over. And then it was December of 2022. I had been completely asleep at the wheel when it came to AI. Chatgpt came out, and I'm like, I need to make a video. I did a video that day, and it went crazy. And then ever since, I was looking at AI content, and most of the stuff you get out of just standard Chatgpt, I mean, it's okay, but a lot of people don't know how to prompt it. A lot of people don't come from, I understand how people are searching and what they would find valuable for this search term versus write an article about elephants. And I think that's something that you guys have really nailed with content at scale, is being able to give it that term and get a full output. That's something, one, I mean, there's a hurdle. I don't want to pay for something a computer made automatically. So you got to sell me on it. And this is something to where I look at it and I'm like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It works. And the demand is there, obviously, with, a bazillion words per month or whatever that exact number was, where, there's so much out there. And a lot of people don't realize that adding a little bit to AI is a game changer. Adding that little, okay, maybe I'm not a giant powerhouse business, but maybe I can do search intent and then help them get content. Or maybe I could, help them polish up content at scale articles or whatever it is. And it opens up a service industry that didn't exist before. And I think it's super, super powerful. And when you look at the numbers, I think they're saying AI marketing is going to be a $107 billion industry by 2028, which right now it's at like 15 billion, and it just woke up. And I think it's something to where, we look at the business that you guys have and the power of it, and it's really, really neat to see. And can you tell us a little bit about, from a writer standpoint, what were your hurdles and what did you understand about this and what kind of made you take that transition? Now I'm going to interrupt right here just to talk to you about some statistics in the AI industry. According to AI Contentify, over 85% of AI use is for written content. According to Authority Hacker, over 65% of people think that AI-generated content is equal to or even better than human-generated content. And not only that, but unless you've been under a rock, you've seen the growth of the AI content industry, which is poised, get this, to make as much as $500 billion a year by 2027. And now, back to our show.
Yes. Well, personal adaptation was really critical for me. I couldn't get behind anything. At Content Hacker, I have people that follow me, trust me. They were literally on the edge of their seats. When is Julia going to adapt? So that was really important. And for me, it came down to a couple things. Was this content going to be plagiarized, for one? And I'll tell you, I went to the founders, I used the tools, and nobody until Content at Scale actually had an answer for me on, here's a plagiarism checker. It's inside the tool. You can click a button and instantly know if your content is plagiarized or not. I ran a writing agency. We had to run all of our content through Copyscape. A client would ask, did you do the plagiarism check? So I know these things. So I'm more skeptical of these tools. You can't just expect it on one generation to give you something that, it's ready to go in a book. And that's the myth, right? That we think we can hit a button and just get something that's awesome. Well, a lot of you people watching, and I think Marcus too, you're probably smarter than that. So I'll give you more credit. But That is something that was baked into Content at Scale, one of the few tools that had a direct API call to copy escape from the tool itself. And the actual output also, it looks at Google real time. So it has its own semantic algorithm parser where it's looking at Google results real time, not from 2021, but real time the minute you click write post. That was a differentiation for me as well, because you need to do real time research. You can't count on something from 3 years ago. The world has changed infinitely.
Yeah.
So that was baked in there as well. And it's an amazing stack where, I could personally adapt because it was nothing like Chatgpt, where I had to still do all the research, do the plagiarism check, rewrite almost everything. So for the long form inbound content perspective, that website traffic builder, which is what we're talking about, right? You can't really just use something as thin, I want to say, as Chatgpt. This is a full stack. And that's why I, as a writer, was like, okay, I can get behind this and not hate it. There's things baked in that allow me more transparency about, okay, this is content that's good, which is really what matters in the end.
Absolutely. And I think also one of my favorite tools that's baked in is the video tool. Because for me, it's like, okay, I put out a lot of video content and I don't make notes. Like most of the stuff, the notes I have here are just Google Notes on the future of AI. I never script my videos, and it makes it difficult because when I go to AI to get content, it doesn't put together the things that I put together, and it just does not give me good output. With yours, I actually tested it, and I was like, is it going to connect these two dots? Which usually people don't connect, but let's see if it does it. And it actually did, which I think is good. Now, with that, I think, like you said, there was a worry, when is AI going to take my job? And I think in terms of taking the old job, yeah, there is worry for a lot of people. I think in terms of the new job, what would you say if there was someone out there and they're looking to make money as a content editor, builder, AI assistant? What would you say would be the top 3 to 5 skills that they would learn and put alongside Chatgpt or whatever AI they're using to be able to be profitable in this new world?
Oh, great question. Yeah, well, I think first of all, the first thing I've been teaching, helping writers and their teams, whether it's the marketer, writer, website owner, it's a mindset shift, right? So instead of powering up Word, which is what we've done for how many years, you're going to power up a tool like Content at Scale, the AI itself, and you're going to start there. So that whole process, it's a mindset shift because it's easier right now to go back to Word. It's what we know, that human analog process. But I'm telling you, if you kind of face that initial obstacle of, okay, I gotta really dive into the AI. And that's like the next thing you do when you go to write and you don't go back to old habits. Old habits die hard. I get it. That's the first step, is actually use it. And it's funny, right? Because I see writers and they're not using it yet. So it's like, step 1, use the tool. Get your hands on it, get dirty, get in the tool. And then the next step, we teach a series of steps under something we call AIO, which is a new way to approach content. Instead of SEO content the human way, do it the AIO way, which is you're optimizing the content from AI. And in that process, we have 5 steps. We call it the craft framework. So each letter in craft stands for something. You're cutting the fluff, you're reviewing the content, you're adding images, visuals, media, you're fact checking, of course. AI is notorious, doesn't always fact check itself, although ours, Content at Scale, it researches real time and it pulls in links, which is really cool. And then the last step is trust building. So you're going to add in personal story, personal experience, but you need to know what to do with the AI output, right? That in itself is like such a big skill. What do I actually do? And the misconception is that the skill of writing is going away. No, not 100%. No. In fact, it probably got more important than ever, because that's what you're going to use whenever you're looking at the output. You're actually going to use your skill of writing. That skill just got 10 times more important. But again, only if you're using AI. Right? Don't do the old human analog process where it's taking 7 to 10 hours to write this blog, because that is dead. Like you heard it here on Marcus's channel, that's dead. We do not need to do that anymore. So if we don't need to do that, then what do we actually do with the AI? And that's the real fear, because writers approach this with a lot of integrity. Well, if I don't know what to do, I'm not even going to use the tool. I get that. Like, that was me as well. So here's what you can do. Here are the steps you can take. And that craft framework, we hope, is going to really shed light. What do you actually do with this output? How do you make it publish ready?
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting too, listening to different perspectives, because for me, I was an SEO by trade, not a writer. If you read my writing, you'd be like, dude, go back to third grade, please. Learn how to spell and commas and, things like that. But what I learned with AI is that the speed at which you can connect dots and have AI help you and then help with the final output is big. So case in point, one of the reasons I think I have the biggest membership at Content at Scale. And one of the reasons I keep it, which please don't change it once you hear this, one of the reasons I keep it is because I could literally go find 9 YouTube videos on a topic. I could throw it in there for a little bit over $100. It's going to get me output on all those videos. Now, compare that to what I used to do, which was go to Rev, pay outlandish rush fees because I have no patience and I come up with an idea the day I put it out. And so I'm in it, $600-800. And then I got to go sit and mark it up and say, what's the important points? Where with Content at Scale, I do that in a second. And I can literally make a blog post out of it. I can make a video out of it, or I could just understand a topic like that. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is the ability to connect things and make things so much faster in your research. Because like you said, 8 hours to do a blog post was insane. A lot of people don't have time to do that, even with is it going to rank? Is it going to make me $5, $500? I don't know. And they don't put that time in. But now I could get the same kind of output in maybe 45 minutes, or with a Content at Scale type tool, 12 minutes or something, I think is the average. Very, very fast. And it's changed the way that we do content. I had a content service I ordered before. We gave them more money than I'd like to admit. And now using Content at Scale, we have completely gotten rid of it with AI, which is cool because it's like, this is in demand. And I think if people understand that and follow the framework and the stuff that you've talked about, you don't have to be an excellent writer. You need to be a good researcher and good at directing things. And I talked about it on a webinar the other day, where one of the most important lessons I learned in life, I learned in rehab 9 years ago. And they said that the mind is like a lens and you get what you focus on. And for AI, that's even more. AI is a lens. And if you tell it to write about circle balls and basketballs and whatever, it's going to go that direction. But if you say connect X, Y, and Z and make it relate to Q, it's going to do that in a perfect way. And when you understand that it's not just about, oh, write me this topic and please try to do good, then you start to realize it's way more powerful than ever. And that's a skill that anyone can use and make money online.
Well said, Marcus. I just want to clap. Excellent.
All right. Well, thanks for that. And thanks for being here. I think it's really good to see something that has scaled your business and something that's made completely out of AI. Because, a year ago, 2 years ago, this kind of thing didn't exist. And I think if the numbers were correct, your first 3 weeks were like $30,000 in monthly recurring revenue with AI content, which is amazing. So here you have it, people literally making a living, a very good living for lots of people on the back of AI content. So I hope you enjoyed this interview and understanding how AI content works, and that AI content is the future of many businesses online, including yours. And in just a minute, I'm going to talk to you about how to learn how to set this up in a strategic way so that you could put money in your pocket. But first, a story. Back when I was getting into AI content, I was coming on the backs of hiring actual writers to do the content for me. This was expensive, time-consuming, and very difficult. But thanks to tools like Content at Scale, Jasper, Chatgpt, and countless other tools, this process has been made much easier. But there is one small problem. Very few tools actually get the idea of how to write content that's going to make money. And that's why I'm going to have a special training tomorrow that's going to tell you everything about how to create content with AI, not only to sell on your own, but also to sell products, services, and pretty much anything you can imagine. And it's actually quite easy. And if you want to be on that training, we got some surprises for you. Head on over to getwebsitecontent.com, register for the training, smash a like button, and I'll see you tomorrow.